What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk about a wristwatch and how it should fit your wrist. What we're going to talk about, whether it matters what kind of band you get, case sizing, what style you get, all that stuff. And before we do get into that, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button below and ring that bell. It don't hurt either. Now let's get into how your watch should fit your wrist. Okay, guys, so how should your watch fit? Does it matter what brand you get whenever it comes to fit? Truth is, no, it does not. Whether you get something super affordable like a Timex or something higher end like a Rolex or something in between, the brand of watch really is not going to affect the fit of the watch, like with clothing. So don't think you have to spend a ton of money to get a great fitting watch, because that doesn't really matter as far as the brand goes. Now, whenever it comes to bracelets or bands, does that matter? No, not really, because you can adjust the size on them. Of course, you can get thinner ones, thinner bands or bracelets. Metal would be a bracelet, and then leather or nylon, any rubber, anything like that would be your straps or your bands. Does it matter with what material you get for that? No, not really. With the bracelet, you're going to be able to take these the links out. You have so many. I think I still have some in here. It's probably hard to see. There we go. Okay, you see those little dots there? There's pins. There's so many on a bracelet that are removable. So on a bracelet, you would remove whatever you would need to make that fit your wrist better, or add to it, depending on how big or small of a guy you are. And then with a strap or a band, it's going to buckle similar to a belt, so you're going to have so many holes to adjust from there. So whatever it is, your bracelet, your band, that's personal preference. One is not going to fit better than the other. One might be more comfortable for you, one as opposed to the other. You might find that a metal bracelet's more comfortable than a leather strap or band, or you might find that a NATO strap is more comfortable than a rubber one. So that's just personal preference. And don't feel like you have to spend a ton of money on a watch to get a nice one, by the way. You can find some really great looking affordable watches. You can find some really bad looking expensive watches. So don't feel like you have to spend a ton of money. Before you do buy a watch, set a budget, because you can spend a lot on watches. So, style of watch. Is that gonna affect the fit of it? No, not really. Certain watches are gonna look bigger or fit bigger than other ones. For example, a G-Shock is gonna look a lot bigger on you than a thin dress watch, just because of the nature of the styles of watch. A G-Shock is made to be durable. It's made to be used. It's made to take abuse. So it's going to be a lot bigger. It's going to generally be made of rubber. Or this right here is a dive watch that I have. It's all metal, as opposed to a dress watch that's going to be a lot thinner. It's going to be made to fit under the cuff of a shirt. So that's going to look a lot smaller on somebody's wrist. So once again, style of watch, it's completely up to you. If you're an extremely small person, you're probably not going to want to go for something like a G-Shock, because those are generally very big watches. So it's going to look awkward on somebody with a smaller wrist. And likewise, if you are somebody who is a very large man, you're probably not going to want to generally go for something like a dress watch. It's going to be very thin, very dainty. It's going to look very small on you. So it's personal preference what style of watch you get. My recommendation would be go to the store, especially if you're buying your first watch or your first nice watch, to where you're spending a little bit on it. Go to the store, try on some different styles, look at some different styles, see what looks best on you. Yeah, you have G-Shocks, you have dive watches, you have field watches, you have dress watches, you have chronographs. The list goes on of different styles of watches, and all are going to look and feel and fit a little bit differently. So just kind of go in, just because of the style of watch and how it's built is what's going to affect the style. So just go in, try it on, see how it looks on you, see how you like it on you. Case size, once again, doesn't matter. You can get some larger case size watches, but because of the style of watch, it looks smaller than what it actually is. And if it's a very rugged watch, even if it has a small case size, it can look bigger because they use thicker materials in a more rugged watch. Okay, so now which wrist should you wear your watch on? You have some people say you should wear it on your right wrist all the time, or you should wear it on your left wrist all the time, whatever it may be. The truth is, there is no set wrist that you need to be wearing your watch on. It's recommended to wear it on your non-dominant hand or your non-dominant wrist. So most people will say you should wear your watch on your left wrist because most people actually are right-handed. The reason why you want to wear your watch on your non-dominant side or your non-dominant wrist is because you use your dominant hand the most. So it's going to take less of a beating bump into less things if you wear it on your non-dominant wrist. So it's just going to keep the watch a little bit safer, a little bit nicer, a little bit longer, and keep it from taking as many bumps because you're not doing as much with your non-dominant hand. Okay, so we got all the fluff, all the, brands and styles and all that out of the way. So let's get into where your watch should actually sit on your wrist or where it should actually be at. Okay, so our Citizen ProMaster Diver, and it's on a bracelet. And this is a dive watch. So what you want to do is, it's kind of hard to, there we go. Okay, so on your wrist you have this little bone, little bump right there, this little bone. Okay. You want your watch, no matter if it's a metal, leather, nylon, rubber, whatever, you want your watch to sit right behind that little bump. The reason why you want that is you don't want it to be too far down your wrist because it's going to look too far down your arm because it's going to look awkward. And you don't want it to be right up against your hand. If you have it right up against your hand, it's going to limit your movement. It's going to be very uncomfortable. So if you have it right where that little bump, that little bone is, you're going to have full movement of your hand. Now, as far as, how tight or how loose the watch should be, it should be snug on your wrist. It should not be so tight that it's cutting off your circulation, but it should not move around whenever you move your hand. It should stay in place. I'll go out and I'll see guys, they'll have watches on, especially if they're wearing a metal bracelet on their watch. They'll have a watch on that's just moving around, flopping around all over the place. And what'll happen is the reason why you want it to fit snug, you don't want it to be moving around, is because it's going to bump into things, table if you have your hand down, it's going to bump into a doorway or whatever, and it's going to eventually it's going to either damage the case of the watch or it's going to damage the movement inside the watch itself. And the reason why you don't want it to be too tight is because it will cut off the circulation to your hand, and that can cause you some health problems. So make sure it sits snug on your wrist. You don't want it to be too loose. You don't want it to be too tight. Just make sure it's giving your wrist a nice little hug. Whenever you get the right size, you're going to know. If you are wearing a metal bracelet on your watch, if you don't have a tool to remove the links, you're going to want to take that to a jeweler to have the links removed. And it's usually pretty cheap. I think it's maybe $15 to have them do that for most jewelers. But if you are wearing a leather strap, a nylon or NATO strap, a rubber strap, it's going to fit. It's going to be similar to a belt. So you won't have to take that anywhere to have it adjusted. Now, if you're an exceptionally bigger guy, you might want to look into third-party straps or bracelets for your watch if it's still too small, even if you have it on the biggest setting. Now, the nice part about the bracelets, too, is on the clasp, you actually have little micro adjustments. And how I had to do mine is I had to have pretty much all the removable links taken out of my watch because my wrists are smaller. And then I have this set on the smallest adjustment for the micro adjustments. So if you're feeling a little bit bloated, the nice part about having especially if you have, mine has 3, but if you have some will have 4, 5, 6 micro adjustments on them depending on the brand. If you're feeling a little bit bloated, you can actually micro adjust the watch, so you can loosen it or tighten it a little bit, depending on how you're feeling for that day to make it more comfortable for you. And once again, I want to stress, whenever you are buying a watch, especially if it's your first nice watch, don't feel like you need to run out and buy a Rolex. I know there's a lot of, in the watch, whenever you watch videos or watch related videos, you see a lot, every guy should have a Rolex, especially in top men's style must-haves or whatever. Every man should have a Rolex. You should aspire to have a Rolex. Buy what's affordable for you. My watch comes from Citizen. I spent $250, I think, on this with the coupon code. I've had it for 4 years now. It's held up very well. The nice part about Citizen watches is they have an eco-drive system. So they're powered by light. It's a quartz watch, so you don't have to worry about winding it. But they're powered by light, so yeah, as long as you have a light on in your room, it's always charging the watch. And I've been very satisfied with the Citizen watch since I have gotten it. It's actually the only watch that I wear, only watch that I own now. But don't feel like you have to go out and buy a Rolex. They are very expensive. Yes, they're very nice watches, but I will say it, I feel like they are a little bit overpriced. And part of that is because they know they can get the money. There was somebody said somewhere years back that every man needs a Rolex, so a lot of guys who wanted a nice watch aspired to buy a Rolex. So that price went way up. Not knocking Rolexes, they are very nice watches. I've seen them in person. They're very beautifully made watches. And they're very good quality, very high quality. But don't feel like you have to get a Rolex or a luxury brand watch to get a nice watch. You can get nice watches at very affordable prices at all price points. They have nice watches for under $100. They have nice watches for a couple $100. And obviously they have nice watches for well over $1,000. So set your budget before you go out and buy it, and get whatever you like within your budget. And as far as styling goes, honestly, most people are going to be impressed subliminally in their brain if you're even wearing a watch, period. So styling's really up to you. If you're a super outdoorsy person, you might want to go for something like a Rolex. Or I'm sorry, not a Rolex. You might want to go for something like a G-Shock or even a dive watch. They're both very durable styles of watches. If you're somebody who dresses up a lot, you might want to go for something that's a little bit smaller built, like a dress watch, a little bit thinner so that it fits under your shirt cuff. But really, it's up to you on styling. Get what you like. Gold, silver, two-tone, rose gold, it don't matter. Get what you like. You're going to want to wear it, and that's what's most important. You want to wear it as much as you can so that you get your money's worth out of it. Okay, guys, so that wraps up my video today on how to fit a wristwatch. I hope you guys got some good tips out of this. I know we covered a little bit more than just how to fit it, but I hope you guys got some really good information out of this. Maybe I'll try and do a couple more watch videos in the future if you guys like this. Let me know in the comments below. Like I said, I only own one watch right now, and that's this one. I did have more watches in a collection years ago, but after I got this watch, I really didn't like the other ones, so I ended up giving them away or pawning them off, and I just stuck with this one watch. It's held up very well. It's 4 years old, I think, now, so... And I haven't really had to have it serviced or anything. So it's held up very well. I've been very satisfied with it. And I just love this watch. So if you guys want to see more watch videos in the future, I can try to do more. I'm not sure how much I'll be able to get with just owning one watch. But I'll do my best for you guys if you say in the comments that you guys enjoyed this video. So let me know what you guys think of it if you want to see more watch videos. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see my favorite outfit to wear with cowboy boots, don't forget to check out my last video, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.